Okay, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hillcrest Live Tennis Series. We're down here on this Thursday afternoon. Today, we're going to be discussing 3 topics. The first one, we're going to be talking about the split step. The second one, we're going to be talking about creating a good recovery step through your footwork. And then the third one, we'll be talking about the contact point. So these all link together, but we're going to be discussing them in a little bit more in depth. So first thing about that split step, I've had a lot of questions about it. The tendency is to think that the split step is just kind of you plant. So I'm going to kind of do a little demonstration and a little drill that you can be doing when you're warming up. It's a great way to consciously think about that split step and how you can make it more effective. So one thing to think about on the split step is really making sure that it's on time. The timing is everything for the split step. So, if you're splitting too early, then now you're planted, and then now you have completely defeated the whole purpose of the split step. If you're late, then the ball is going to be up on you, and then you're going to be late getting your racket and getting into position. So really making sure that split step is on time. I like to think of it as the ball has hit your opponent's racket, that is when you split step. And we'll kind of go into details what the split step looks like. So Jacob is going to feed a few balls to me, and I'm going to kind of show you what it's going to look like. Okay, so that split step really is as the ball leaves his racket, your feet kind of come apart, and then it's split. And so that's good. So it's really, your feet kind of come apart, they separate, and you're lowering your center of gravity so that you can move to either side. It really allows you to anticipate and explode to the ball. That's the whole purpose of the split step, is to split and then go. It's not to split and stay. It's a split and then move to contact. So I like to tell people to think of it in a different way, because the tendency is to just split and then you're waiting for it. It's a split and then you go to contact. That's to me makes a huge difference in how you move to the ball and how you're going to prepare for your contact point. And that will link into our third discussion point today. But really, the timing is everything. Making sure, again, that it's on time and not late. So if I split before Jacob has fed the ball, now I'm completely flat-footed. If I split before or after he has fed it, now the ball is too close or too far away. So really, as he hits, he's going to split, split. So that leads us into our drill that you can do. If you can let it just bounce for me. So I really want to focus on, as he hits, I'm going to say split, and that's going to help me split. 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 So it's really helpful, and it really makes you conscientious of when you're supposed to split. And it really highlights, and it really makes you see the ball earlier, because you're focusing on when you're supposed to split rather than focusing on the ball bouncing on your side of the court. And to me, that's the biggest problem that we have, is we're seeing the ball and we're reacting to the ball as it is bouncing on our side of the court. And at that point, we're too late. So really trying to really emphasize that split step so that you can create that distance and that space between you and the ball. And it's really going to help your contact point be more consistent, because if you remember, the the more variety we have in our contact point, the more errors we're going to make. So having that constant split step is really going to help your movement to the ball and also your contact point. Okay, so that leads us to our next topic, and we're going to talk about how we can be more efficient in our movement on the court. Too often do we find ourselves stopping short on the out wide ball. So a lot of times we're really good when the ball is 1 or maybe 2 steps from the middle of the court, because we don't have to take, it's the perfect step. All we have to do is take 1 step. But when we have to be stretched out a little bit, so Jacob's going to feed one out wide, we kind of stop. And then now our momentum is moving this way. And so now we have to take 3 or 4 steps away after we've made contact. And so then our movement is inefficient. So what you really want to do is, when you're hitting, you want to make sure that outside leg gets to the ball, and that's where you're going to stop, and then you're going to do a crossover step. So I'll do an example. So outside leg to the ball, and then you're going to cross over. So really making sure that outside leg gets to the ball, outside, and then you cross over. And if you notice, I just have to take 1 crossover step and I'm back to the center of the court. So one more time. So really out to the ball and then crossover step to the middle. With this step, now our movement is, we're putting more of our momentum into the ball rather than our arm, because if we're stopping short, that means that we're using more arm rather than our body and our legs to push into the ball. So one thing that you can do to practice this at home is, really working it in slow motion. So you want to work on getting out, push, cross over, and then again, so split, move out, push, cross over. And so it's kind of a little dance with the ball. So loading on that outside leg, push in, and then that momentum back to the center of the court with that crossover step. And it's the same thing with the backhand. But now you're going to be pushing with that left leg. So you're getting the left leg to the ball, push, and then now your momentum is moving back this way rather than stopping. And now all of your momentum is this way. So we want to make sure that push in and then wrap around for that recovery step back into the middle of the court. So I would highly recommend doing this in the mirror. It really helps you see that footwork, and just think of it as a dance with the ball. And I promise you, as you start to recognize that outside leg, taking a stronger step with that outside leg, now again you're going to use less arm and more of your power source, which is your legs and your core and your shoulder turn. And you're going to be more effective. You're going to have more power. You're going to be more consistent, and you're going to be faster on the court. So that kind of covers all of the components that people worry about in match play. Is, well, I'm not hitting the ball hard enough, or I'm always out of position. This crossover step and this recovery step is going to help you become more effective with your movement, along with that split step. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move into our contact point. So really, the best thing that you can do for your on-court game is making sure that contact point is in the same spot every time. So if you could just kind of toss a few over to me. So what Jacob's going to do, this is a great warm-up, is you're going to find your contact where you find your contact, and there's not going to be a swing with your arm. You're just going to, so they're nice and soft, and so, nope, that's perfect. So see how I move to where my contact is supposed to be, and then I have to move my body. So this is my contact, perfect. And then here, see how I'm just using my body to push in, find my contact. So, really focusing on that contact point. And this will also teach you, because a lot of people say, well, I have a wobbly contact. Another thing that I like to think about is, if think of hitting like a series of balls. So if I tend to be lifting on my shot and then my contact point is different every time, I think about, there's a ball here, 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 and I think about hitting along that path of balls, and that really extends my stroke out, and it helps me find the center of my strings. So along with that kind of short court, finding your contact, once you get the feel for that, then you're going to move back to the service line, and you're going to be doing the same thing, but just in a shorter version or a more extended version. So go ahead. So again, you're trying to kind of nice slow swing, trying to make sure that you're on contact every time. Yep. And then making sure your contact is in the same spot every time. You notice my split step, push, recover. Notice how it's all linked together. Okay? And you should be able to do that all day, finding that same spot every time. The more consistent your contact point, the more consistent your shot selection will be. And like I said before, the more variation you have in your contact, the more errors you're going to make. So really, if you want to be a successful hitter and have more success in your match play, making sure that contact point is in the same spot every time. And that way you'll be able to dictate play. Once you get your contact down, now you can dictate play, and you can dictate where you want to hit the ball, when you want to hit it, at what pace, speed, and angle in which you want to do it. So, they're all connected. If you're not split stepping, then you're not getting to the ball efficiently. And if you're not getting to the ball all the way, then your contact point is going to be inconsistent every time. So really, all three are linked, and we have to link them all together to have success on the tennis court. And it's really the best way that I can get across to a lot of the members here, is really making sure that that contact is key for all of you to have success. And really, if you think about it, when the contact point is up here or down here, you have no control. And so control is what we're looking for, and I can't stress that enough. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining us today. We hope that you learned a little bit. Come down to the tennis courts. We have a lot of adult programs going on right now. And our junior program has been a huge success thanks to all of you. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.